Welcome bitches one and all to my reaction to season 1 episode 20 of the originals, A Closer Walk with Thee. So last time we had some big changes for the wolves after their campsite was attacked by an unknown party, resulting in a lot of deaths. Now, we ended the episode with Elijah handing over the grimoire to Klaus and basically saying that whatever Klaus has planned, Elijah wants in on it. Like, if they're gonna do anything, they need to do it as a team. So very excited to see how that all plays out and to actually find out why Klaus has been scheming behind the scenes. But yes, with that said, very excited to get back into it and see how the story goes. So without further ado, let's go. Oh, this is such a sad way to open the episode. Huh? What the fuck is going on?
Greetings, boy.
What the fuck? Huh? Right. Two theories going on here. Firstly, and if I hadn't been watching the Vampire Diaries, this would have been my theory, is that Genevieve or Monique are doing some kind of spell to play on Klaus's mind to put him into a bad space so he's not protecting Haley, so he's not at the top of his game, so they can then go and kill the baby. But then the other part of me is thinking, obviously, we know that the Vampire Diaries and the originals take place in the same universe, and we can see in the Vampire Diaries that the other side is coming down. We literally saw last episode. I won't spoil it for some reason if you are watching the originals and not the Vampire Diaries, but basically the other side is coming down and there's a character who is a ghost who's influencing the environment. So that could also be happening in the originals. I would think that they wouldn't just completely brush over that kind of thing, you know? They wouldn't just completely avoid the fact that the other side is going down because it's such a huge part of the universe. But the fact that it was in a dream is the only thing that's throwing me off, because even if Michael somehow was able to influence the environment, is that the same thing as influencing someone's dreams? And also the way that the White Oak Stake works in killing the originals, it like combusted Michael's body. It destroyed it, which had me thinking, did it like disintegrate his soul? Did he even go to the other side? Is that even possible?
I have to make an appearance at the priest's wake. You three head back to the lycée. Take some time to think about those spirits who might still be walking alongside you.
It's quite cool that Genevieve, being a living ancestor, is like teaching them.
Or you just want to see Klaus. You two are getting cozy.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
So I can
Monique's got a point. It's a bit off.
Go home, Monique.
Yikes.
Listen, I wanted to thank you.
Unless you come equipped with the means to fill this, no additional platitudes are necessary.
Klaus, seriously, what's
I've
been
been having these dreams.
Oh, so it's a recurring thing? I thought it was just like one nightmare.
My fears of fatherhood are scarring my child as my father scarred me, are manifesting as nightmares.
That's so intriguing. I don't know if that's true or not. In the supernatural world that they live in, I tend to be a little bit skeptical when they talk about just normal things that the brain does. A lot of the time, there's some kind of supernatural thing influencing them. But it's still an interesting character point that that's what he's interpreting from those dreams. He's interpreting his father killing him as his fear of being a father and becoming like him. Like, damn.
I know more about the trials of fatherhood than you might imagine, Camille.
That's a funny point.
And it worked out so well for you the first time. Why change a thing?
It is a strange thing in this show because they're immortal and they seem of a similar age to our eyes. It's hard to see them as father and son, you know?
I've decided the boy shall remain with me.
Unfortunately, he's not for sale.
Well, I do not wish to buy him.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really fucking happy that they did this, because when we had the flashback of the guy who was basically torturing Marcel, it just kind of moved on from that scene and we didn't see the process of him actually rescuing Marcel. So I'm really happy that we're gonna see that.
And if I say no?
You seem to have misinterpreted the matter as up for debate.
Fine. Take him.
I was gonna say, doesn't the governor know what they are? Like, you got some balls, mate. Or stupidity.
He wasn't worth a damn to me anyway.
They told me he is your father.
Only by blood.
You know, my father hated me too. The truth is, Marcellus, family can be more than just those with whom we share blood.
Exactly.
He knew that this town needed him, and we still do.
Oh, Cammy, my darling. nice that, like, even with all their differences, they at least respected him. They respected what he was trying to do.
Looks like we had the same idea. I've been informed that Kieran's necklace is missing. You know, the key that he always wore? I assume he left it for me. How rude of me. I'm Francesca Correa.
Right, sorry, I know I've already... The reason I was a bit hesitant on pausing is because I know I've done it a lot already. But I've been very interested to explore her character a bit more because obviously I forgot, to be completely honest with you, that she was meant to be the, like, human representative until Kieran was better, but unfortunately, obviously, he has died. So she is now, like, fully the human representative on the council. So what is going on with this key then? Because I feel like she knows what the key can be used for. We know that the key is something special. It's not just a necklace. So why does she want it so bad? Is this why she's been trying to gain power over the human side this whole time? Like, has this been the goal to get that key? But what does it mean?
I'm invested in protecting the people of this city, and to do that, I need the key.
It must have fallen off. During the events that led to his untimely death, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, hun, that's not a way to get information out of Cammy. You should come in, like, hyper sympathetic.
I will warn you, Haley. Nicholas is in a spectacularly foul mood today.
Sod off. But right now, I'm gonna finish this bottle, then the next, in the hopes of drowning the demon that has chosen today to haunt me. Cheers, Michael. Impeccable Freudian timing.
Jesus.
Elaborate.
Has Elijah been having nightmares as well?
Have you dreamt of our father?
Go ahead. Have a good laugh.
He has.
Especially considering I've been dreaming of him too.
Oh, shit.
Well then, what better way to punctuate a day of peace than by killing someone?
I don't think that's how that works. I don't know if it is Genevieve now. I know what I said at the start, but when we had the scene with her talking with Monique and all of that, it seemed like surely it would be a known thing within that little close circle of four that that's what's happening. I don't think Genevieve would just go and do this spell on her own. Maybe she would do it on her own if it's not related to the baby, if it's only related to haunting Klaus. But then why haunt Elijah with Michael then? It just seems to me like with the correlation of what's happening in the Vampire Diaries with the other side coming down, this could literally be Michael. But then they're not seeing him out and about in the day and nothing weird's happening in the day. I don't know.
Would you care to explain why you would choose to torment us with visions of our father?
Oh, shit.
I don't know what you're talking about. But if you've both been seeing your dead father, I can try to get you answers.
Go.
Nicholas,
Go.
dear.
Elijah?
Let me guess, there's something of benefit for you in all of this, isn't there?
I need a witch to make those rings for the wolves. Perhaps we'll get both answers and cooperation.
Obviously, I knew that Klaus would have some kind of ulterior motive for letting her go, but I find it to be a strange character point that Elijah would so readily not believe her. Because I feel like in the past, Elijah, being a man of his word and being a noble man, he would want all of the answers first. And they didn't really have any evidence pointing to Genevieve, apart from the fact that they had grievances in the past. So I'm a little bit taken back by the fact that Elijah was so ready to basically take Genevieve out. But I suppose with everything happening and the line being drawn in the sand between all of the groups and the fact that there's a lot of tension going on, I understand why Elijah's a little bit more quick to the gun, you know? Jesus Christ.
What a delightful tune.
Oh, fuck. Jesus. What is going on?
So Klaus gives you 24
Bloody
hours
hell.
in the quarter and you're spending it coffin sitting with me?
Even us bad guys can take the night off.
Maybe you can. Not sure the humans are on their best behavior. Francesca person cornered me earlier asking about some key.
What'd you tell her?
Marcel knows something about the key.
Which you know. Or you would have asked what key.
Yep. He's revealed it to her, okay.
Trust me, you don't want to be a part of any of this.
Trust you? Are you kidding me?
Cammy.
Marcel, I completely understand what you're saying, and I do think, one, I don't know the importance of this key, but it's with Marcel's like redemption arc going on in the eyes of this town, it seems like this is some kind of power move by him. I do think that a part of it was probably protecting Cammy, but it's got to be something to do with a power move in terms of gaining control of the city again. But in that regard, if you really want to protect her, just fucking tell her. Like, tell her why this key is important. Francesca already knows why the key is important, or else she wouldn't want it. So, like, it's not like someone's going to be prying this information out of Cammy. Tell her what it is and tell her that it's safer with you. Boom.
I will tell you about the key.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know any of it.
I was about to say then why is she angry, but I do just think that obviously she's dealing with some heavy grief right now. You can't expect her to be in a good place.
It's not just your father. Purgatory, where supernatural souls are trapped, is disintegrating.
So it is related to that.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
nice.
that is actually...
I really like that. It's really nice to have these two universes linked because some like huge stuff that happens in one will influence the other. And I'm glad that they don't just brush past it, because then like I'd be sat here like, well, that doesn't really make sense because apparently they're meant to be in the same universe, but this is like a huge, it's the afterlife of all supernatural creatures, you know? So I'm excited to see what this means for these people.
So am I in the clear, Elijah? Or is there a new conspiracy you two would like to threaten me over?
Nothing springs to mind at this precise moment.
Perhaps tomorrow after the funeral, you and I could spend some time together.
I suppose we'll have to see.
Wait, now I'm a bit confused. After the funeral, but we saw the funeral earlier. Oh no, that wasn't the funeral, Harry. Stop being so dumb. That was a fucking nightmare.
I'm guessing you're not here because you want to make a new friend.
I don't count terrorists as friends.
Haley?
And then after he died, the debt was erased.
Oh shit.
It's like magic.
I absolved his family of the debt he owed out of the goodness of my heart. And I'd advise you to mind your manners. If I was interested in hurting the wolves, you'd be my target.
Okay, right. Have to say, loving her character so far. She's my kind of, I don't want to say villain, because as far as we know right now, she hasn't really done anything villainous, but she's not exactly like one of the good guys, one of the core group of characters that we're watching. So I'm really excited to explore her further, because so far, I don't know how to describe it. I love characters who, especially when they're women, I don't know why, I just always have, like for instance in Avatar Last Airbender, favorite characters Azula. I just like women who show that they're powerful, also show that they're dangerous, but they do it with a smile on their face, and they do it in a sense where it's like, you can't hurt me because if you hurt me, you'll be hurt tenfold. So like, don't even try it. It's that kind of vibe, and there's just something about that energy that I always get drawn to in TV. Why are we playing after she's left? That scares me. Monique? The fuck are you doing to Haley? She's put some kind of like needle into her forehead. What does that do? She causing like an internal fucking brain bleed?
Kieran told me that the key leads to something that can be used against the supernaturals if we get too far out of line. Kieran and I had our ups and downs, but we trusted each other.
What would that be?
The church, the rectory, I even searched your family's tomb. It's hard to find a needle in a haystack when you don't even know what the needle looks like.
And you want to know if I have any ideas.
You can question my intentions all day long, Cammy. I'm here for Kieran, and I'm here for you.
Marcel, listen, I would love to agree with you on that, and I'd love to think that you don't have any ulterior motives. The only issue is the fact that it was last night that you decided to have the city turned upside down to try and find this. Like, come on, bro. You couldn't have waited one more day. You couldn't have waited until, like, the day after the funeral. It just seems a little bit shitty to the night after he's died. Not died. The night after... What do you call it? A wake? But a wake is after a funeral, isn't it? But they had some kind of celebration last night of Father Kieran's life, and now they're having the funeral today. Why choose that night? That just feels like it was more of a power move than anything else.
Do you think I was the target of those bombings?
Of course you were the target.
That cheek was dry as the fucking desert.
My father lived to torment me. It is not my intention to become him. This cycle of misery ends with my child.
You forgot one thing in your attempt to plead your case. She's not your child. She's ours.
I was gonna say, I know what Klaus is saying, and I know that to him, his sole focus is the father side of things. His sole focus is being a better father than his. But the problem is, Klaus, this is Haley's child. You can't just claim it as yours and do with what you wish. Like, this is a collaboration. This is a cooperative effort. You need to understand that, or else your child is going to hate you for pushing his mother away.
Haley, I'm trying, mostly failing, to stay out of all this stuff, but she's a real bitch, so yeah, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. Thanks.
I love that response so much. Oh my god. Oh my god, she's coughing up blood.
Klaus!
Haley!
Fuck. I mean, Genevieve will know if this is something that's magically created.
I can hear the baby's heartbeat, but not hers.
What? Huh? Monique, what the fuck did you do to her? Like, is Haley dead?
Who are you?
Oh. Because Michael showed himself, like, with the scene where Haley was attacked by Monique was after Michael had revealed himself to the witches. So did he do something? Did he convince Monique to do something so that he could communicate with Haley, maybe?
Sean didn't have a funeral. Her parents wanted nothing to do with him, so the city had him buried out here with the criminals and the John Does.
Did he hide whatever the key unlocks behind that?
Cammy, we can do this another time.
Bad timing is the theme of the day. I'm going to need a sledgehammer. This is a nightmare. I'm dreaming.
This is very real.
God, I'm terrified. What is going on here?
No! The baby!
The baby?
Ah!
That kid never had a chance. And as if your bloodline isn't filth enough, you poison it by merging it with Klaus's, the deathless vermin, fancying himself a daddy.
Oh my god, like, I know that we know that Michael hates Klaus, and I know that we know that he basically despises him, but to hear someone who Klaus still refers to as father, like, to hear him have such disdain for him is quite frankly disgusting. Like, it makes me feel disgusted. How can you treat someone like that?
She's not dead. I'm not dead. If I was dead, you wouldn't be trying to kill me.
Go the fuck off, Haley. Go the fuck off. Can she sense it?
I know what to do. Get my bag, the gree pouch. Now!
I assume she's not going to tell them what Monique did, but she's going to confront Monique herself. Oh! Go the fuck off, hun!
I should never, ever know you.
Oh. Can I just say, that was quite frankly one of the best lines I've ever heard in this show. She will have one advantage, she doesn't know you. Get fucked, Michael. Oh, I hate him.
I've decided that I'm going to move back in.
All I ask is that the child is kept safe.
She's the child's mother. She's gonna keep it safe, Klaus.
You try to take her away from me,
Come with me. Please, I want to show you something.
Also, can someone in the comments note down for me? Because I didn't actually remember this fact. Did we get the gender of the baby? Because Klaus keeps saying the child, my child, but Haley said take her away from me. So have we got confirmation that the baby's a girl? Aww. Oh, that's so cute.
Believe it or not, Haley, I would actually like you to be here. Our daughter should be raised by her parents in her family home.
You, me, Elijah, and Miracle Baby all under one roof. Bad reality show. Why do you call him that? He's not your real dad.
He's done damage only a father could do.
Wow.
What did he say to you?
Wow. What a fucking line. Probably been my biggest issue with Klaus so far is that yes, he has done a lot of shit and he's done a lot of things that have actively pissed me off. But a big reason why I struggle to connect with him so much is that we don't get these sweet scenes with him that often. And even when we do, it's laced with something else. Like this sweet scene that we had between him and Caroline, but scenes that we had between him and Caroline, it's like they were so few and far between, and they came at times where Klaus had done something really fucked up, so it didn't even let me connect with him then. But the difference with this baby is it's not romantic. Like, it's not a connection that can be formed through two people who aren't connected to begin with, you know what I mean? Like, this is his child. It's a fact of life, and it's set in stone. So it's nice to have these moments where we see him show that he truly wants to be a good father and he wants to love this child with everything that he can. And I just think that that was a really unexpected sweet moment. But yeah, the line that he's done damage only a father could, that was fucking not beautiful, but like beautiful, you know? Beautiful line, not a beautiful sentence.
You tore my sister from my family. I cannot forgive that. However, I may be inclined to show a degree more kindness if you were to help me with a slight issue.
Before we get into that, I just want to say, I understand why Elijah feels that way. The thing is, though, she tore your sister from your family by revealing the truth. It's not like she actually did anything apart from spread the information that was a fact. So I don't think you should hold it against her that much, but she has actively tried to go against your family. So I do think that you can hold some contempt for her. But in terms of like Genevieve as a character, I do really like her. Of all the witches that we've seen, even Davina, if I'm being completely honest, Genevieve is my favorite of them, and I want her to stay around. The only issue with Genevieve's character is she's on a ticking clock. She's on a timer because there are 4 Harvest Girls. Only 3 came back, and the 4th can't come back until Genevieve is dead. They're not just going to let go of that. They're not just going to move on from that. So she is eventually going to have to die so that she can come back. And the fact that Genevieve, apart from teaching the Harvest Girls, but they seem to already know quite a lot already, apart from teaching them, she hasn't really got a lot to offer right now. So I feel like by the time we get to the end of the season, it might be the end for her, you know? I hope it's not. It's just plot-wise, it feels like that's where we're going.
Now, I would like to create for her a gift, a ring of empowerment, something to control this curse.
Elijah, you are so fucking smart. Huh?
Someone must have gotten to it.
Or it was a placebo. Not placebo, what do you call it? Like a fake thing?
I don't think so.
You can tell me what that says.
I can, but I won't.
This is too
Dangerous. Yeah, I got it. That makes it my responsibility now, whether I like it or not.
Nice, Cammy. I don't think she should have given that information to Marcel.
Baby is part witch. The ancestors want her consecrated to the earth so her magic can fuel our community. She has to be born first, before she can die. Leave. I don't want to look at you.
Was that a lie, though? Like, the ancestors didn't say that in the scene that we saw, unless Genevieve is just like, I don't know. Maybe the ancestors communicated more, but we didn't see, but I feel like Genevieve's using it as an excuse, but I don't know why, because she's going to have to kill the baby eventually if she wants to stay with the witches and stay with all of that. But obviously she's got a personal connection with Klaus, Elijah, even Haley somewhat now, so will she do it? Because the Genevieve that we saw in the past before she became an ancestor was sweet, was nice. She was a fucking nurse of anything. So I feel like that is playing a role right now.
She's a baby. Don't make me a monster.
Wow. Why the fuck is she bleeding blood from her eyes? Are the ancestors killing her? What's going on? Because she wouldn't fulfill the mission.
I'm sorry, I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want.
Wow. I was about to say, do they have that much power? But I suppose she called on them first, thus giving them the power. But Jesus Christ. They were fully prepared to kill her just because she wouldn't do it.
All necessary authorities have ruled in their favor.
You think I don't remember you, boy? Have they turned you into one of them yet? I thought not.
Holy shit. What? Did he have vampire blood in his system or something?
You've always said we choose our family. You made me a promise when you daggered your sister. It's finally time to make a choice.
Okay.
Becoming like me, it would rob you of all that makes you good.
Interesting.
I know what you are.
I feel like we've never seen that standpoint from Klaus specifically before. We've never seen him hold like a certain regard for humans. Or I know that this is Marcel in particular, but he is still human. And he's holding a regard for the things that make him good and the fact that that is related to him being human. I like when we explore these other sides to people.
Don't worry. I intend to be far away from here by then. But just because I'm across the river doesn't mean I'm out of the game.
I spent decades trying to make up for what your father did. How did I fail?
Maybe the scars just ran too deep.
Jesus.
You didn't fail me. You taught me everything that I know. You taught me that I can't afford to be weak. I'm gonna fight for my city, and I will fight
until I am dead. I would expect nothing less.
Sorry to pause here. I just wanted to touch on something because I know I didn't really speak in that. I never made the correlation with the fact that obviously the reason it hurt so much for Klaus that Marcel called Michael was because it was a huge betrayal. But I didn't make the connection that it would hurt so much deeper for Klaus, knowing that Marcel knows the pain of what an abusive father, abusive is like a light term for what their fathers did, but the pain of what an abusive father can do, and yet he still made that decision. Like, that would cut even fucking deeper.
If I died and someone threw a party, I would be so pissed.
I was thinking that at the start of the episode.
In 1,000 years, I can't recall a time I felt so frightened.
Elijah.
Elijah.
Fuck yeah! Aw, bless them. I'm so much more down for this than the guy she was like arranged marriaged to. Like, absolutely not. I love Elijah. And Haley is growing on me a lot. I didn't like her that much in the Vampire Diaries, but she's growing on me a lot. Is Michael like linked to her now? Because if so, then he can use that against everyone.
I'm truly sorry for what my son did to him.
Oh no. Here we go.
You're Klaus's father.
And I'm the only one who can rid you of him forever.
Oh no.
What can I do?
You can bring me back to life.
I thought that's where that was going, for fuck's sake. So yes, there we have season 1, episode 20 of the Vampire Diaries. Hold the fuck up. Of the originals. And that was another fantastic episode. I'm really fucking pissed that we've ended the episode with the potential for Michael to come back. He's a character who truly, even being a villain, like, there are so many villains that I'd be happy to come back. I do not want him back. He's not just a villain. He's a disgusting person. He is someone who, even Klaus, who I don't hold in high regard, seeing what his father did to him, seeing how his father treats him, absolutely not. I do not want this kind of person back. He is a disgusting person. The things he says to Klaus, like, there are a lot of villains in shows that I love. There's a lot of villains in shows where even if they're going after the good guys, it's cool to see, and it's cool to see them fight, but to see someone treat their child with such disgust, like, yeah, I know he's not his child by blood, but they raised him. It's the same as if you had gone and adopted someone. Like, they are your child. You have raised them. And Michael did raise Klaus. So, like, the idea of him saying that that's not his child is, like, fucking disgusting. And it's not like he says, oh, he's not my child. He says, oh, he's not my child. He's vile. He's disgusting. He's a scorn of the... Like, he's absolutely awful. So, yeah, safe to say I don't want Michael back. There is a possibility now, obviously, with the fact that Davina can do it. She is very powerful, and if Genevieve gets the grimoire from Elijah to make the rings, then I think it would be pretty easy for Davina to get access to that grimoire, and that grimoire is, as far as we know, extremely fucking powerful, and it could have, maybe not a spell, but it could have the ingredients needed to formulate a spell that could bring him back, which, please no. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Now, we did this episode find out about the key. We found out that it was for a box that Father Kieran hid. And at first, I thought that it was... I used the word placebo, but that's not what I meant. But it's a similar vibe. It's like, I thought that there was nothing in it. It was a threat. It was an empty threat. It was something that Father Kieran was using to keep it in the supernatural creatures' minds that there's something that they can do, when in reality there wasn't. However, the words written on it, it was a code that Cammy said. It was a code that says something, but it wasn't an extremely complicated code, which makes me think that the words that it would contain are not that complicated either. Perhaps only either a simple sentence or a name of a location or even a person, but then a person would be a little bit more iffy because you're relying on them to still be alive, you know? So maybe it's a location, but then... why have a box that you have to find and unlock the key only to be told of a different location? You know what I mean? So very intrigued to find out more about that and what that all entails. And then speaking of that, Francesca, I want to get a lot more into her character because it seems like there are things going on behind the scenes, and seeing how she has behaved and seeing how she goes about things, I wouldn't have put it past her that she's the one that sent the guy to blow up the wolves, just with all the things connecting her. But like she said, surely she would go after Haley. Surely Haley would be the one, but Was she meant to? Was that explosion meant to kill Haley? But it didn't, and she can't just go and kill Haley because then she's dead. Like, Klaus will go and rip them all apart, so she has to do it strategically. So I don't know, but she's definitely dodgy, and I'm really liking her character so far, so I'm excited to see where she goes from here as well. Yeah, now we did explore a few other things. We explored, not for long, we only saw the kiss between Elijah and Haley, but I do hope we explore that more. I hope that we see that go further, because I really like both of them, and it would be so nice to see them in a happy relationship together, you know? I know that it's awkward, considering she's pregnant with Klaus's baby, but it's not like they've got any connection. It's not like they've got any romance going on, so I think it's safe to say that it will be Gucci on that side of things, but yeah, I just hope we see more of it. Now, the other big thing that we did explore was the relationship between Elijah and Klaus, and more specifically, their relationships with their fathers. And I'm glad that we got another flashback with Marcel. I'm glad that we got to explore those things again, because like I said earlier, didn't get to see it much at the start of the season. We kind of got little bits and pieces, but we didn't see a good chunk of it. But actually seeing the disgust that his father had for him and how that linked so closely to Klaus, and why it hurts so much more than you would have thought, and why it hurts so much more that Marcel betrayed him, because he knew what it was like to have a father like that, and he still went and did it. But yes, overall, absolutely fantastic episode. We had some good development here. It was all centered around Father Kieran's funeral, but it wasn't really a big center point of the episode. It was kind of just showing the time while everything else was going around, you know? But it was nice that we had this moment of truce between all the groups so that we could see all of those parties interact and see what their other motives were. But yeah, safe to say I'm very excited to see where the rest of the season goes from here. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I've left a link down below to my Patreon, be able to find the early and uncut reactions to the originals and all the other shows that I do. Also left a link to my Twitch, my Discord, and my socials, so be sure to follow them if you are interested. And Jess, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.